America has always been a land of noise, voices rising in debate, ideas colliding, dreams competing for space beneath an endless sky. But there are moments when the noise turns heavy, when confusion replaces clarity, and fear whispers louder than hope. It was during one of those moments that the brothers felt it. Keith and Kevin Hodge had lived disciplined lives. They believed in structure, accountability, family, and service. They believed freedom was not fragile, but it was never free. Long before destiny found them, they had learned to endure pressure, to laugh through struggle, and to stand tall when others stepped back. Though identical in appearance, they were opposites in rhythm. Keith moved with patience. He listened longer than he spoke. When he did speak, words landed with weight and purpose, cutting through emotion to reach understanding. Kevin burned with kinetic energy. He spoke with passion, moved with force, and acted without hesitation when others froze. Where Keith was calm fire, Kevin was lightning. On a quiet desert night, the sky above Las Vegas cracked open, not with thunder, but with light. A surge rippled through the earth like a pulse, as if the land itself was responding to something unseen. Across the city, systems failed. Power vanished. Panic followed. In the chaos, Keith and Kevin didn't run. They moved toward people, helping, lifting, guiding, calming. As they did, the air around them shimmered. An ancient force awakened the fracture, a being born not of flesh, but of division. It fed on distrust, on confusion, on citizens forgetting their shared ground. The surge hit. Red, white, blue. The brothers fell to one knee, and rose changed. Keith's vision sharpened. He could see truth beneath words, intention behind action. Lies bent and cracked in his presence. Kevin felt strength flood his body, raw, overwhelming, controlled only by will. Fear no longer touched him. America had answered itself. The Liberty Twins were born. Part 2. Balance of power. They didn't announce themselves. They didn't seek attention, but people noticed. When streets filled with unrest, two figures appeared, one standing firm, arms crossed, voice steady, the other moving like a force of nature, shielding the vulnerable, redirecting chaos without cruelty. Keith became sentinel, the guardian of truth. His power was not domination, but clarity. When he spoke, minds slowed. When he listened, tensions softened. He reminded people of shared values long buried beneath noise. Kevin became vanguard, the shield of resolve. He stopped destruction not with anger, but with strength, harnessed by purpose. Walls cracked beneath his grip, but people were always protected. The fracture adapted. It spread through screens, rumors, distorted narratives, and amplified fear. Neighborhoods turned inward. Trust eroded. Sentinels stood in public squares and spoke not to shame, not to accuse, but to remind. Freedom survives when truth is spoken calmly and heard bravely. Vanguard confronted physical threats, fires, collapsing structures, violent eruptions standing between danger and innocent lives. They never fought each other's battles. They complemented them. One anchored the mind, the other guarded the body. Together, they were balance. They were not perfect. They were human, and that made them unstoppable. Part 3. The last stand of the fracture. The fracture gathered its strength for one final attempt. It rose above a monument etched with forgotten promises, feeding on despair, cynicism, and the belief that heroes no longer existed. You cannot save them, it echoed. They doubt, they argue, they forget. Sentinel stepped forward, eyes steady. They argue because they care. They doubt because they think. They forget, but they can remember. Vanguard cracked his knuckles, feet planted. And we're here to help. The battle was not about destruction. It was about endurance. Sentinel exposed illusions, breaking lies apart with calm truth. Vanguard absorbed the blows, standing when the ground shook, refusing to fall. The fracture weakened. As dawn approached, people gathered not to fight, but to stand, to help one another, to believe again. Starved of division, the fracture unraveled, the light returned. The Liberty Twins didn't pose for cameras. They disappeared into the crowd, back to families, neighborhoods, ordinary lives. Because heroes don't replace the people. They remind the people who they already are. America didn't need saviors. It needed courage, and it found it twice.